The contract wife's twins. Emma Carter stared at the ultrasound screen in disbelief. "Congratulations," Dr. Ray said with a warm smile. "You're pregnant." Emma blinked repeatedly, trying to process the words. Pregnant? That wasn't possible. She had followed every rule outlined in her marriage contract. Then Dr. Ray pointed at the screen again. "And not just one baby. You're having twins." Emma's heart nearly stopped. Twins. The room spun around her. For 3 years, she'd been married to billionaire businessman Ryan Kingston. Their marriage wasn't built on love. It was a carefully negotiated contract. Ryan needed a wife to improve his public image and secure control of his family's company. Emma needed money to pay for her late father's debts and provide for her younger sister, Lily. The contract had one major condition: no children. Under no circumstances was Emma allowed to become pregnant. Ryan had personally provided birth control pills and reminded her constantly about the rule. Now, everything had changed. "I've been taking the pills," Emma whispered. Dr. Ray frowned. "Are you sure you've been taking them consistently?" Emma hesitated. Her memories suddenly drifted back to countless days when Ryan's demanding schedule had left her exhausted and distracted. A terrible feeling settled in her chest. Had she missed some doses? Or had something else happened? She left the clinic carrying the ultrasound pictures with trembling hands. She knew Ryan would never accept this. And unfortunately, she was right. That evening, Ryan returned to their mansion. Tall, handsome, and cold as ice, he barely looked at her. "What is it?" he asked. Emma handed him the ultrasound photos. For several seconds, he remained silent. Then his expression darkened. "What is this?" "I'm pregnant." Ryan stared at her. Then he laughed. Not a joyful laugh. A cruel one. "You violated the contract." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't do it intentionally." "That doesn't matter. They're your children, Ryan." His jaw tightened. "That's exactly the problem." Emma couldn't believe what she was hearing. The man who helped create those babies was acting as if they were a business mistake. 3 days later, Ryan's lawyers arrived. They presented divorce papers. Emma felt like her heart had shattered into 1,000 pieces. "You can't be serious," she said. Ryan never even looked up from his phone. "The marriage is over." "Where am I supposed to go?" "That's not my concern." The woman he had once promised to protect was being discarded like garbage. Emma signed the papers through tears. Within a week, she was gone. Meanwhile, Ryan moved on quickly. At least that's what it looked like. Soon tabloids began publishing photographs of him with Vanessa Blackwell. Vanessa was a famous socialite and aspiring actress. Beautiful, ambitious, manipulative. The media instantly labeled them the city's newest power couple. Every time Emma saw their photos online, her chest tightened. While Ryan enjoyed luxury vacations and glamorous parties, she was struggling to survive. She rented a tiny apartment on the edge of town. Medical bills piled up. Her pregnancy became increasingly difficult. Morning sickness lasted nearly all day. Her back constantly hurt. She worked remotely whenever she could, but eventually her health forced her to stop. Only 2 people stood by her side: her younger sister Lily and her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Henderson. "You'll get through this," Mrs. Henderson often said. "You don't understand," Emma replied one night. "I'm completely alone." Mrs. Henderson gently squeezed her hand.
"No, dear.
"You're not." Months passed. Emma watched her stomach grow. Sometimes she placed her hands over it and spoke to the twins. "Your mommy will protect you." Those conversations became her source of strength. Whenever she felt hopeless, the babies kicked. It was as if they were reminding her to keep fighting. One rainy evening, Emma collapsed outside a grocery store. A stranger rushed to help her. His name was Daniel Brooks, a local doctor. Daniel drove her to the hospital and became a trusted friend. Unlike Ryan, Daniel treated her with kindness. He never judged her, never asked for anything. He simply helped whenever she needed support. Unfortunately, Vanessa wasn't finished causing problems. One day she discovered that Ryan's ex-wife was pregnant with twins. She feared the children might eventually inherit part of Ryan's fortune. Vanessa convinced Ryan to cut all remaining financial support. Ryan agreed without hesitation. Emma's situation became even worse. There were nights she went to bed hungry. Nights she cried herself to sleep. Nights she wondered if she could survive. Yet somehow she kept going. Because she wasn't fighting for herself anymore. She was fighting for her children. At 8 months pregnant, disaster struck. Mrs. Henderson suffered a stroke. Emma rushed to the hospital. The stress triggered early labor. Pain exploded through her body. Doctors immediately wheeled her into the maternity ward. Hours felt like years. Emma screamed,
cried, prayed.
And finally, 2 tiny cries filled the room.
A boy.
And a girl. Healthy. Beautiful.
Perfect.
Tears streamed down Emma's face. "Hello," she whispered. "My babies." She named them Ethan and Emily. For the first time in months, she felt genuine happiness. Across town, Ryan knew nothing about the birth. His relationship with Vanessa was beginning to crumble. The glamorous woman he admired revealed her true colors. She constantly demanded money, manipulated people, and cared only about status. One evening, Ryan accidentally overheard her speaking on the phone. "I'm only with him for his fortune," Vanessa laughed. "The moment I secure what I want, I'm leaving." Ryan froze. The betrayal hit him like a truck. Suddenly memories of Emma flooded back. Her kindness, her loyalty, her patience, everything he had taken for granted. For the first time, he realized how badly he had failed her. Months later, Ryan hired a private investigator. What he discovered shocked him. Emma had suffered alone throughout her pregnancy. She had nearly lost her apartment. She had given birth without him. And she was raising twins by herself. Ryan stared at the photos. A little boy, a little girl,
his children.
Tears filled his eyes. The guilt was unbearable. The next morning, Ryan drove to Emma's apartment. When she opened the door, she froze. "What are you doing here?" Ryan looked different. Less arrogant. More human. He glanced at the twins playing nearby. His voice broke. "They're beautiful." Emma remained silent. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness." "No," she replied. "You don't." Ryan nodded. "You suffered because of me." "Yes." "I abandoned you." "Yes." "I was wrong." For a long moment nobody spoke. Then little Ethan waddled toward Ryan. The child reached up. Ryan hesitantly picked him up. Tears rolled down his face instantly. For the first time he understood what he had thrown away. Winning Emma back wasn't easy. She refused his money, ignored his gifts, rejected his invitations. Ryan spent an entire year proving he had changed. He attended every birthday, every doctor's appointment, every school event. Slowly Emma saw a different man emerging. A man capable of love. A man capable of being a father. Eventually walls that had taken years to build began to crack. One evening they sat together watching the twins play in a park. "They adore you," Emma said quietly. Ryan smiled. "They got that from their mother." Emma laughed for the first time in a very long while. And in that moment both realized the love they once ignored had finally grown. 2 years later, Ryan proposed again. This time there was no contract. No lawyers. No conditions. Only love. "Will you marry me?" he asked. Emma looked at Ethan and Emily. Then at the man Ryan had become. The answer was easy. Yes. Their wedding was small and intimate. Lily served as maid of honor. Mrs. Henderson attended after making a full recovery. Even Dr. Ray was invited. As Emma walked down the aisle, she remembered the frightened woman sitting in that ultrasound room years earlier. She remembered the pain, the loneliness, the struggle. And she realized every hardship had led her here. To her family, to her happiness. Ryan gently took her hand. Their twins stood beside them, smiling. This time there were no contracts. No conditions. Only a promise. A promise to love each other forever. And together they finally got the happily ever after they deserved. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and follow.